What's up, Fine Apples? So today I'm showing you my makeup routine for the gym. If I feel like I look good, I'm gonna feel good too, and I get motivated when I work out. Now, if I feel like I look very lazy or sloppy or not put together and exhausted, that's how my mindset is at the gym. It's a mental thing, okay? We're going to talk about gym toxicity, the fitness industry, motivation, going to the gym, trying to get healthy. I feel like this is a topic that is talked about all year round, not just New Year's resolutions. So today's video is sponsored by Wonder Skin. And before I start talking about this product, if you don't remember, I did do another video with them, and I'm so glad because this lip mask is so nice. So this is the color Charming, and it just got back in stock because I'm on their mailing list, and this is a very popular color. So in case you missed me talking about this, it's basically lip blushing in a bottle without that painful procedure. I am sponsored by Wonder Skin, and I'm excited because this is a go-to product because spring and summer are around the corner. Also, if you wear makeup to the gym, this is a game changer. I was using the shade Brunette, but now I'm using Dark Brunette. And let me do a swatch of each one. And this is what the applicator looks like. It's just almost like a lip gloss. And the product is very easy to work with. So on this side, we have Brunette, and on this side, we have Dark Brunette. When you do get the kit, you do get your spoolie and brush. And I like this because it's very defined, nice and narrow so that you can get a defined brow. It's not all over the place. Spoolie is very nice to brush through the hairs as well. It's a very easy product to use. I personally like taking the product with the brush. You can also go through your brows, but I don't have a lot of brow hair, so I would say work little by little. I like to define my brow first, so I just start at the bottom. Whoops, picked up too much product. But what's really great is this is very easy to work with. And I think because it's a serum, it's not a pomade. So say for instance, I have this extra product, I can just brush that right through my brow and look how easy it blended through. Since it is a serum, there's benefits to using this product. There's keratin, biotin, and also hyaluronic acid. So it's going to help strengthen your brow and also condition it. So it's waterproof, budge-proof, transfer-proof. Let me know, are you someone who works out with makeup at the gym, or you're just someone where you just go as is? I've seen people comment saying like, it depends, like I'll wear makeup to the gym if I already had makeup on for the day, or some people just like taking it all off because their skin is more acne prone. Say for instance, you have like a sparse area, like say right here, I want to fill in. Don't just stroke it through and brush it through right away because it's a serum. So it's nice and conditioning. So I suggest just pushing the product in and letting it sit for a bit, and then you can brush it through. You can also combine it with your favorite pencil as well. It's all up to you. I don't have to do that because I do have enough brows at the same time. So then I just take my concealer and clean up like usual, and that is it. And these are not going to budge. Now, when this product does set, it doesn't set right away, which is what I love because I've used similar products where they just set and that's it. It is not budging. That is the brow you have. So you have to either start over or roll with it. So you do get a little bit of tackiness with this brush or with the product. And so you can brush it through and you can get a nice fluff. So if you have unruly, crazy brows that are just partying, doing their own thing, once this officially sets, which is starting to set right now, see how I'm getting that nice fluff? You can just fluff it right through and it'll hold those brows in place without needing like a brow wax or anything like that. You know what? I'm going to do a little test because I haven't done it, but I'm kind of curious if I just bring the product through, like where I do have hairs, and just brush it through. I don't know. We're being bold here. I have not done this because, yeah, I don't have a lot of brow hairs. But the product is easy to work with, and then just brush it through. Okay, see? So it's not bad. So I can actually do that to start building my base. Here's a makeup wipe. A wet one, as you can see. And I'm rubbing hard. That's like hard. I'm just using the Pure Canvas from Laura Mercier. I usually don't use a pore filler unless I'm doing a bunch of things for like the rest of the day, like errands and stuff. And I just want to fill in my pores and I just want my base to lay out a little bit more. Here's what I do. This is what I said in my TikTok video. I will put on gym clothes like what I have on now. I have my leggings and everything and my gym top. And I put on all my gym stuff, so I force myself to go to the gym. So I have to. I have to go. I already dressed for the gym. Why would I not go to the gym? I will say there are people that wear full on glam to the gym, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have gone with full glam multiple times and I have no issue with it. And my face really doesn't sweat off my makeup. Waterproof concealer, Tarte. Definitely a full coverage concealer, but this will not have anything, nothing will budge with this. So this is the last one I have, and I figure, you know what? I'm going to repurchase this. I told myself I wasn't because it's not the best underneath my eyes. Before the gym, it ain't budging. Because when I use other concealers, I sweat a ton. It will disappear underneath my eyes and it just looks so dark and weird and discolored, and you could see just a sweat dripping down. That will never happen with this concealer. And like I said, it is a heavy duty concealer. I used to love this underneath my eyes. Now this has become my favorite gym concealer. Since it is full coverage, where I have hyperpigmentation, like say for instance right here and a little bit right up there, I just use that to cover those problem areas. I have a very good waterproof foundation for you when you sweat a ton. And what's great is that there's SPF. So if you're someone where you just like wearing glam and you want to get done up for the day and then just go straight to the gym without worrying about SPF and without worrying about, oh, this foundation isn't going to last in the gym. I wear this to Disneyland, the parks, when I went to Florida a couple times because it is humid and I sweat a ton. It Cosmetics. I use any of the It Cosmetics foundations. They last really well. It doesn't even feel heavy though on the skin, and that's what I love. So if you're someone where you do want to cover up, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, people get insecure about certain areas, so do you, you know? So I just add a little. I don't use a lot. And I just kind of hit all the areas to balance out my face. I've used this for so many years. That's one thing I will say is like with gym toxicity and all that, I feel like there will always be toxicity. There's this really cool guy that I watch on TikTok and his name is Joey Swole. Now, if you haven't heard of him, he's actually in the Orange County area. And I just feel like, oh, I hope I run into him one day because he is just such a kind guy. So what he basically does is he's like the superhero of gym culture. So there's a lot of videos going up where people will exploit other members, which is crazy to me that people have the balls to do that. And they will film in the gym. Also, FYI, have you ever seen anybody film in the gym? I have, and I feel like just as long as you're courteous and you're not getting other people in the shot or you're really just trying to get yourself, then that's okay. And then there's always the option of you saying, hey, I really appreciate it, and say it nicely because the energy you give off, they're going to give back most of the time. So if, you know, you just kind of say, you know, I don't really want to be in your video, or make sure, please, I would respect if I'm not in your video type of thing. Set, you guys, I never thought I would like this, but it's the Nikita Dragon Beauty. I just use these powders and I have Hit Pan and I just use this as my base. But you can use any cream shadows or anything you want. I just use this and it's like the same exact thing. These are nothing special. I wouldn't say your under eyes with, but I just set my eye. What he does is he finds those people, like people will tag him in the videos. Say for instance, there was a guy and he was posing and then like older guy walked in his towel and you could tell he kind of blurred out a little because it's a men's locker room. So they're going to be naked. And the guy would say something like, oh, when someone comes in your shot or whatever like that, when you're trying to pose, but it's like, you shouldn't even be filming in a locker room. So then what Joey Schwoll will do is he stitches that video. And also with the It Cosmetics really quick, you can layer on as much as you want. But my main portions of my the main parts of my hyperpigmentation, that's a tongue twister, come on now, is this area right here. So I use the It Cosmetics in combination with the Tarte concealer right there. And you can layer it up. Do what makes you happy. Do I wear an eyeshadow? Yes, I do. Do I do full-blown glam? Sometimes I'll do a shadow and a crease color. And that's mainly what I do. Majority of the time, I am just taking a more neutral shade like this or like just a transition shade. And I just sweep that right through my crease. And this one's a little light, so I'll combine it with this one. And that's mainly what I'll do. And do I wear eyeliner? I do. And I'll show you my budge-proof eyeliner because it was stuck on my hand the other day, even after taking a shower. And I was thinking, did I scrub hard enough? But Trust me, I took a hot, steamy shower, so that thing should have just like slivered off my hand easily, but it didn't. It is that waterproof. I've never lost my wing. Joey Schwoll will go and make an example of this person. Who are you to exploit this person? This older man who just took a shower in the gym locker room, not knowing he's being filmed. It's basically the hero. You know what I mean? Like he really sticks up for people, because there's like a lot of like there's a lot of entitled people at the gym too, where they just think like, oh, you ruined my shot, or they walk by, or they grab weights, or there's a lot of videos of girls assuming that men are just checking them out. Like there was one where this guy kept going back and forth, but he was honestly just switching weights, and she just kept looking. She just dropped her weight like all pissed, and he even kind of looked like, oh, what's going on? She was thinking that he was just walking by checking her out. Oh, so she was just assuming. Woo, the assumption was high that day. Next up. You guys, I have talked about this so many times. I don't even know how much more I can talk about it. This is my ride or die. Perfusion Cosmetics Wing It Superfine Eyeliner Black. This is the blackest, most matte eyeliner you will ever find that is waterproof. Most black liners that are waterproof are shiny. There's an ingredient in there. I don't know what it is that they're able to not have this shiny, but this is amazing. So I do a wing. Sometimes it gets out of control. Sometimes it stays itty bitty, which is what I sort of aim for. But yeah, so this is what I do. Just like a really quick crease color, okay? Then just a little wing. We'll see what happens today. Oh, I think we're doing a little wing today. And then I just go right into the inside and I do a half wing. My eyes just look kind of tired without the wing. I don't know. There's something about the wing that I feel like this is my superhero cape. This is what allows me to fly through the gym. Let me think what I want to think, okay? With him calling out people, I feel like it has really opened up the eyes of a lot of gym goers, and they're like, oh man, like that's really cool. That's small, okay? That's really cool that he's standing up for everybody. And it's also teaching people what not to do in the gym too. Like, oh damn, let me like not assume this guy's checking me out. Because I have been to the gym where you can tell when a guy is really checking out, looking with those crazy eyes. And then you can tell when a guy is just, oh, that's cool. Like she's working out, she's doing her thing. Now, more people are looking at other people in a more admiring way, not like as in a I want to hit on you way, because people are trying to like have more of a gym family vibe. And that's one thing I do notice. So I feel like the gym, there's like always going to be toxicity. There's always going to be those people like, I can lift heavier than you. I'm more fit than you. I've been going here. Who are you? You can't sit with this type of thing. And there's a lot of people who are just like, hey, that's cool. Getting your gym on. We all start from somewhere. We all started from the bottom. No. Okay, anyhow. So it's cool because I think I've mentioned this before. If not, I was doing hip thrusts one time and I saw like some guy like looking at me and he was just like applauding me, not just like, yeah, I want to get in that. No, it had nothing to do with that. It was more like, hey, like she can really hip thrust a lot of weight. So you know, there's people that are going to applaud you. One thing that I think is really cool too is that a lot of people are more likely to help. Like say, for instance, the other day I was at the gym with Glenn and I was looking for him, but I couldn't find him. And I didn't feel like texting because I didn't want to like make it a whole thing. I didn't know where he was in his set. It was one of those things where I said, okay, if I can find him and I see him and he's like done with his set, I'm going to call him over so he can help me. Because I was doing chest that day and I wanted to go up in weight without using my gloves because I'm trying to improve my grip. My grip is not the best. That has always been my downfall. And so I couldn't find him and I almost had the guts to ask a guy and I felt like I could have asked him very comfortably. Watch me, you know, just in case or help push me. But like I said, I feel like people are just more of a gym fam now. Tarte is not on the top of my list for brands. But it is for this concealer because it's mega waterproof. And another star product that I find from their line is the Lights Camera Splashes. Your mascara is going nowhere. Nowhere. Sometimes it can flake a little, not a ton. I feel like it starts to flake more towards the end when it starts getting really old and dry. And you're just kind of like scraping the bottle, which is what I do. This is so waterproof that you can literally cry for hours and you will never get raccoon eyes. I am telling you, this is it. And I'm not someone where I promote high-end mascaras. You guys know that. I always say get drugstore. It does the same exact thing as high-end. This is one of those products where I will splurge on these mascaras. So now that I have my concealer and my foundation, not all the time, but sometimes I'll take a little bit of setting spray and I just spray it all over. And then I'm going to start to push my concealer back in to make sure I have no creasing. And then I'm going to go into my bronzer and blush. Yes, you heard that right. That double duo. I thought I lost my Rare Beauty bronzer. I'm like, where is it? Because I've been using it so much. So this is the one I've been using. And the blush is the one that will not budge at all. As far as the bronzer, I feel like it does last, but also I don't put a ton. So it's not like I have anything very extreme bronze up my face. So I'm like a little bit more warm. But I'm going to tell you right now, my ride or die blush for the gym that will not budge, because I've used a lot. And I love the Rare Beauty. I love my Revolution blush. I love a Milani blush. All those cream blushes are so good. But nothing, I'm like looking for it while I'm talking, nothing will outbeat the power of Colourpop. I have tried all of them, and this will not budge. It sets. It definitely sets. This is my favorite one in Drop of a Hat. The other one I like without shimmer. This one's like a peachy corally shimmer. The other one I do like without shimmer is called Quarters, and that's a really nice one too. So yeah, but this will not budge. I'm telling you, Colourpop. And this is the cheapest blush out of all my cream blushes. The lasting power is just insane. I rave about them all the time. Now, I've been doing this new technique that I just heard other people trying. So you take a fluffy brush, you set it. I'm also using the Lawless setting powder. This one has just been doing really well for me. And then you just do a light dusting of that. And then to really lock and load it, you take your little sponge. This one's kind of dirty. You take your sponge. These are so viral. I get mine off of Amazon. Everything will be linked down below. And you really push powder in. I just put just enough so I'm not baking. Even though that may seem like a lot, I'm pushing all this product all the way across. I do not bake. And if I do have excess product on my face, I will take the brush and then just kind of sweep it away because, yeah. And then if I kind of go over my blush too much, I just go back in, just kind of touch it up in those areas. This is when I hit my bottom lashes. Like I said, lights, camera, splashes will not go anywhere. Another thing I noticed about the gym is do not be afraid to ask anybody for help or how to do something, because the other day, or the other week actually, Glenn and I were at the gym and we're doing Bulgarian split squats. You have no idea. It took me so long to really, not like super long, but I'm someone where I was saying in my TikTok, I like to know how to do something. So I almost get kind of embarrassed and shy and get a little bit sense of anxiety, like, oh my gosh, she's watching me. Do I look dumb? Do I look silly? You know, and I will say the first couple times I felt like I saw people watching me struggle. Ooh, don't you just love cracking your big toes? I just did it right now. You also want to assume they're not talking bad about you. They're just like watching you like, oh, I want to do those. Or, oh, maybe it is in the back of their mind. Like, oh, I want to help her or something like that, you know? Or, oh yeah, I want to try those out. Like those look hard. Or just trying to like, you know, just look at you trying to do them, not necessarily talking bad about you. So anyhow, we were doing them and we finally got them down. I was like so happy. And that's when we already got them down. We're just going straight into our sets. And these two girls were like watching me, and then they come up to me and they're like, hey, can I ask you a question? And I was honestly so happy because I'm always someone where I want to make sure that I look approachable, because I feel like some days, like you see some people, and I totally get it. Some people do not want to be bothered at the gym, and that is all their right. I want to be approachable. I love to help people. I really do. Then I just curl my lashes, and yes, I already have my mascara. It's okay. My lashes ain't all that before, or, you know, so they can't get any worse. But they asked me, they're like, oh, do you know how to properly do a push-up? And I just was like, oh my gosh. I said, I haven't done a push-up in forever. I said, but I do know the proper form. I said, if anything else, like my husband can show you, you know, and I wanted to make sure they were comfortable too. And right away they're like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, sure. So I was just showing them at the same time because, you know, sometimes people just want to stick with like who they feel comfortable with. Oh, you see how his arms are, you know, and I'm explaining like elbows and all of that. And they're like, oh, because some guy came up to us and he was telling us how we were doing it wrong. And I was like, oh, and they kind of were saying the story as in they felt dumb, and it was kind of like, oh yeah, like he was telling them. That's another thing too. You will get people that correct you, and sometimes people don't have the best communication skills. Like what they're trying to execute is just not it. And there might be some people that execute something and that's how they really are. Like they're just like, oh, you're doing that wrong. That's wrong. I am telling you, the only way for my lash to really hold curl is when I only have mascara, specifically waterproof. It's so much better. But I was so happy that I'm just touching on my blush. I love blush. That they felt comfortable to ask. And like I said, some people will go out of their way to correct someone. And you also have to be aware, like maybe that person does want the help, but you have to say it in a certain way. You know, you don't want to traumatize anybody from stopping from going to the gym. I remember I did a video one time. This is my go-to lip product because it is so comfortable, and it's the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. And this is in the shade Reef. I've talked about this so much. People always ask me, what's your lip color whenever I wear this? And this is it. If I'm on stories and I'm wearing this, what's your lip color? You guys, just go buy it. Because this is one of the ones where you don't need like a lipstick underneath, and it gives you that perfect little hint of pink. As far as powder, I'll just use whatever powder. I've been using the L'Oreal Infallible. This one is really good. It lasts a long time, and I just do like a little dusting. Sometimes I'll put on highlighter. It all just kind of depends. I kind of just set that bronzer too. And then I just go back in with my setting spray and bam. A lot. Oh, this is what I was saying. One time I went to the gym and some guy was like trying to compliment me or whatever, and he talked about my weight. It was just so rude, you know, and just it's just so lame. And thank goodness Glenn was there, because then he ended up telling him something, which sucks that you have to go through that. You know what I mean? Anybody, because this is not just for just women, it's for men too. And so then he came up to me, he's like, oh man, he goes, you lost a lot of weight. Like I remember when you were big. That is so rude, like so rude, you know, it's like a backhanded compliment or whatever. And I was just like, who are you? I've never talked to you. I never say hi to you. I don't even know who you are. It'd be different. Like not even, I'm not saying it's right, you know, but I had never even said hi to him or nothing. I didn't even know who he was. So obviously he knew who I was. So, you know, it's all about just like communication and being respectful of everybody. But here is my makeup, budge proof, waterproof. I'm telling you, these brows will not go anywhere. Where you see them is where they are. The concealer really stays. The foundation stays. This blush, it is just, yeah, this liner is not going anywhere. And this is a lot of the makeup that I wear, like if I go somewhere humid or to Disneyland, anything that I know, any place I know I'm going to have a long day and I'm going to sweat, this is it. Because spring and summer is coming up. So yes, this is my routine. All right, Pineapple, that's it for today's video. Sweatproof, waterproof, transfer-proof makeup. Here you go. Do what makes you happy. You know, do what makes you happy. Anybody looks at you crazy, it doesn't matter, because you're doing what makes you happy. If this is what motivates you, do it. All right. Love you so much. See you in the next one. Mwah.